I'm getting. I have a blog that I just posted this morning, and that blog indicates the book and recommends the book. So what I'm going to do is, actually, let's not start with black. Let's go ahead and start with a lighter color. With this kind of brownish top, maybe beigeish color. I'm just going to make our June 2022. I usually don't follow any type of design concepts as far as writing is concerned. I just go with the flow. And of course, you can learn how to create the styles of lettering that you want to online. I've also found some YouTubers that offer different type of tutorials. So we're just gonna go and put in June. And I always do whatever I feel that I want to do in my bullet journal. I know I already mentioned that, but I never really follow a design concept per se. It's just not the way that I do things, because I do run a small business and that takes a lot of time to create my products and my services and what have you. So I try to focus more on that than anything else. But I'm doing a little bit of a design in here, just to get some design going on, make it doesn't look so plain. There we go. And then I'll use a happy medium color and just go over that. Some shadowing in there, which always looks nice. There we go. So this is June 2022. And I don't usually create a full calendar normally. This month for June, I don't know why I decided to do it, but I decided to do it. So let's go ahead and get started on getting this together. And we're going to use the 8-point, which is quite thick compared to a lot of different other types of chips that I use, because it stands out the most. And unfortunately, I forgot to get my rulers out. Grab those really quick. I love these because you can put them in the bullet journal and keep them whatever and wherever you're working, so you don't have to worry about anything as far as losing your rulers or having to go get your rulers once you start. I'm just going very simply following my pencil ends. And as you may or may not know, everybody that has a bullet journal starts off with a pencil and then they just work with a pen thereafter in case they want to correct any line mistakes. And it's much easier based on following your intention for your bullet journal as well. So I'm going to flip this over really quick so I can get this side. There we go. Let's get all these. And you can see that this paper is not smudging at all, which is great. And again, this bullet journal, $9.99 at Michael's, 120 GSM. Thick paper, very nice. So I have a tendency of filling everything out, and then if I want to add stickers or if I get in the mood to be a little more creative and add some things that I printed out or other pieces to my bullet journal, I go back in afterwards and do it then. Okay, so let's do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So for the 8-point, so we'll go to do a 3-point for this. So a little bit thinner. And we're going to do our numbers. Now I always enter the weeks ending and beginning. I start with a Monday, end on a Sunday, just because I like my weekends together. So this June starts on a Wednesday. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so on and so forth. And then when I get up to my dual numbers with 10, I take up 2 blocks. And again, you can do this however you want. I just do it this way because in the reality of writing for me, I'm not the neatest person I used to be. When I was in school studying art, and this is one of the reasons why I went back to bullet journaling, is because it allows me to create or have a creative outlet for myself. So there we have the calendar filled in. And since that's filled in, I'm just going to take a little bit of color to it. So I can see the numbers better. Again, I'm not really outlining the numbers, I'm just shading them in. So I'm not creating any specific blocks or anything. There we go. Okay, so that would be our monthly. I'm done with these pages. We're going to go ahead and erase all of our pencil marks. There we go. All right. Okay, so let's move on to the next page. So now we have our line method of my calendar. And this is what I use to record anything that's going to happen for sure, such as if I have an appointment or if I have something I need to do, like my taxes for my business every 3 months, I'll put it in here. And then, of course, I have a very, very, very small tracker, which EMR stands for exercise, meditate, and read. So those are my 3 goals that I always have, is exercise, meditate, and read on a daily basis if I can. Again, with the ability to move away from my small business, then I can do it. If not, then unfortunately, yeah, I'm stuck not doing anything for the day. And I just noticed this bled through a little bit, and probably because the pens are older. So I'm going to use a ballpoint pen to do the rest. My beautiful pen, here we go. Pilot G2, it is a 7-point, which is a medium point. ball pen, and I'm just going to use that instead. And as you can see, it's very crisp, very clean. So by all means, if you prefer to use a ballpoint pen instead of a felt tip, this is an excellent pen to use if you're looking for something along the lines of a medium point pen. And the reason why I do not use a medium point pen when I'm writing in my bullet journal is because of you only have a 5mm space to write in per line. So therefore, you may have a little bit of a problem getting everything in that you want to. There we go. I'm gonna flip this over. Nope, that didn't bleed. Good. Okay. So we have our horizontal. Let's get our verticals in. And when I do my small business goals, so on and so forth, I put it in my bullet journal, but I haven't really done that in this particular bullet journal because number one, laziness. Number two, my products started taking off. My jewelry and my candle sales, which I make here at my home. So since they started taking off, I'm probably going to encourage myself to go ahead and start adding more things in my bullet journal because it's going to help me a lot more. Okay, so we've got everything in here. I don't know what happened with that 0.8. That was really weird. We'll take the 0.3. Down there, exercise. Meditate. And read. And that's a reminder of what I'm looking at the top for EMR. So remember, take the EMR. Go, and I like to get at least one chapter done per day if I can. If not more. Because while my husband is watching YouTube, which he watches a lot, because he does movie reviews and he likes to see what other creators are doing as far as their movie reviews are concerned once he's completed his own on YouTube. I'll just go ahead and pull out a book and start reading. And 30. Okay, we're done. Now also, I put a marker in between each week just so I know what week I'm working on, so on and so forth. And the 1st of June started on a Wednesday. So we're just going to start over here in the next column. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And a lot of people will put the TR for Thursday. I personally don't see any reason for doing that because Thursday comes after Wednesday and it's before Friday, so you know what that T is. Same thing with Saturday and Sunday. You don't write SA and SU. Some people do, but I don't. Okay, there we go. So this will be my running monthly. I believe they call it the Alistair method. Let's get June printed up here. Go. Okay, now this month I decided to add a quote to my bullet journal, and sometimes I do this, sometimes I don't. Depends on my mood. That's what the bullet journal is for. It's for people that want to accomplish things and inspire them. So by all means, you can do this. You don't have to do this. It's entirely up to you. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take my combo, and I'm gonna use the point side. Color that in a little bit. And I'll go with a different color this time. Let's go with the gray. Life is not a fairground, but a school. I found that online. I thought it was very interesting, especially when it comes to the business side of things. But even learning, if you're in school or college or what have you, I thought it was a great quote, so I decided to use it for this month. And that quote was by Franz Barden. I'll just highlight the name down here. Go. Wow, a little highlight to it. Again, I'm not the biggest designer when it comes to bullet journaling. I don't have really an aesthetic that I follow. I just do really what I want. So if you want to, you can, like I mentioned before, look up different types of lettering and do what you want to for your own bullet journal. I just like a little bit of a standout, but nothing overwhelming. There we go. Okay, so just a little highlighting. Nothing big, nothing major. And I left this page blank, particularly in case I wanted to add another spread of some sort. I don't have a running weekly or anything, but I usually start just doing my bullet journal in the Ryder Carroll format. And we're going to use my Sharpie 3.8 point. So this is going to start on Wednesday. Be June 1st. Okay, and I'll just draw a line over. And I'll just start writing what I want to write based on June for my daily activities I want to get done. Over here, I have a weekly task every single week. And this is so I can see up here what I need to get done for the week and assigning it accordingly to what day it should go on. So everything is written daily here, and then my weekly tasks I just have at the top. Now, I also, on my running monthly on this page, I only use 3 particular topics, ideas, or to-dos across for each day that I will be working on. And the reason for that is so I don't overwhelm here and I don't have too much up here. So if I have 3 things that I need to get done in here or 1 thing I need to get done over here, I'll just take it and copy it for the day that it needs to get done when I get to that day of the week. So that being said, let's just go ahead and fill in my little weekly header. Again, it's nothing fantastic. It's just a very minimal weekly header. And this will be weekly tasks. With the dates of the week. Okay, now I know there's only 3 days in this week, but I started the week on 5/30, even though I'm going back to May in here, and I will continue with May, as you can see. But in between each week, I have 2 pages because I tend to write notes about what I'm going to do. Like here's the video, which I'm going to do for my new bullet journal starting in July. But here's Sunday, Monday, May 3rd, Wednesday, blah, 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 blah. My weekly tasks, so on and so forth. And where is my... Should be on the next page. Oh, there it is. Okay, so that was this week. I haven't written anything in for today yet, but I also am doing that as we speak, so that could be crossed off. I need to forward that to today, and I watched the Google I.O. yesterday, so that works. Okay, so I didn't do a book review video. I haven't completed the book that I'm currently reading. So my tasks, my weekly tasks go up here, and then my dailies would be the rest. And again, the weekends, I usually don't put anything in here. This is pertaining to a lot of things for work. However, if I do get together with friends or family or what have you, I will put it in here if I feel the need to do so. And I really don't use my apps on my phone that much anymore. I really like to use it, or used to love to use it. To be honest with you, I got over it. I found this to be so much more productive for me, because you wake up in the morning, you don't have to touch your phone, you just bloop, open the book, and there it is. So you know what you need to do. So moving right along, blank page for notes for that week. And then the next week, just go ahead and fill this in. I have you. And again, this is all based on my guide that I have created in the back of the book. And once I am done with this bullet journal, I'm going to be tearing that page out so I can move it over to this bullet journal, or my next bullet journal rather. That's 6/6/6/6/12. And I'm really excited because this Friday is Friday the 13th. I love Friday the 13th. It is such an incredibly lucky day. So if you're a big fan of Friday the 13th like I am, that's great. You're going to have a fantastic day, which is actually tomorrow. Go. Now, I may change this because I've noticed a YouTuber is using a rolling weekly, which I like too. And I have attempted to do that in the past And I just didn't keep up with it. I got really lazy with it, didn't do it. Which is supposed to help you keep your tasks in line for a full week without having to rewrite them. But unfortunately, I didn't rewrite them. I didn't start it off, so I ended up rewriting them. And I guess it's because I didn't migrate my tasks that needed to get done from the previous week to the current week. And again, it was just based on being lazy. It wasn't anything that I intentionally did, because there really was no intention behind it. And then as you see for my final week, because again, you're only going to have Monday through Thursday, I took it up to 7/2, which is for July, and that will complete this bullet journal. So just to recap, what I did today is we started off with my June header page, and I moved into a full calendar. Now, based on what I use, and I should have mentioned this before, based on what I use this for, and I'm going to try doing it again because this is the first time I'm doing this, probably a month, is the little signifiers that I use for my bullet journal, the dot, the X, the triangle for appointments, so on and so forth. I'm just going to put them in here along with any events. Like I follow moon phases, I follow other things as far as traditions are concerned in my personal lifestyle. And that way I know that I have something sitting here that needs to get done. So I don't have to fully write everything in, which takes up probably too much space for me to put them in these little squares. But these are tiny, tiny, tiny little 5mm dots that you have on the page, and that's why I have so much room for my dailies. I usually write down a lot of stuff. And going back to the grid that I made on here, you can see there's 28 squares across and 38 down. Okay? So that's what I have to work with. And of course, it tells me the number of squares, how many spaces in between for each grid. So if I want 2, I can work with 2. Going down, there's 2 with a space in between. There's 2 with a larger space in between. And these are smaller spaces with more of a space at the top and the bottom. And then of course we have 1, 2, 3 here, 1, 2, 3 with spaces, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is the one that I usually use for my monthly spread that you just saw. And 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm looking to do something a little bigger, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 with 2 spaces in between on each side. Going the other way, do 13, 13, 1, and 2, just because this has a 28 square going across. So this side is very small. They took the squares all the way to the edge, and each page is numbered, so you can't go all the way down. You can go all the way across on both sides, but it just doesn't look right to me. So I'll go ahead and make a digital format of this and post it so we can get an idea of, or you can get an idea of what you want to use your bullet journal for if you buy the Artist Loft version at Michael's. And again, this is not sponsored in any way, shape, or form, but it is a great bullet journal if you're looking for something to cut the cost of the $30 to $50 ones or more expensive ones. If you're looking to spend a little bit of money, but not looking to spend a horrid amount of money on something that may or may not work, especially if you're a beginner. And I didn't even use my washi tape. And that's okay. I'll use it for my new bullet journal. Anyway, thanks so much for joining me on my first video for Kevin here on YouTube. If you like this video, please click on subscribe. Go ahead and follow me. I do have other videos that I'm going to work on as well for this channel, such as Coffee Talk. It'll be talking about business and other things, such as social media. We'll be talking about things as far as starting your own small business if you're thinking about doing it, or you really want to go ahead and take the jump or the leap. We'll talk about how I started So that way you get an idea of what you have to do and the startup costs as well, which I have written in here, and I'll be reviewing that shortly. And the last thing is technology. I've been a technology buff since Windows 98. So with the releases or constant releases of Apple products, Android, Windows, even some Linux I've dabbled in.